possibly the most crucial global gathering ever for discussion on climate change. What's the situation?
It's the most anticipated. We've had, America, China, big countries that have been reluctant before signing up, and the word out there is that there's going to be a really big push given towards making meaningful decisions, and it's badly needed, and urgent action is needed. We believe Gibraltar is going to attend this conference, and we understood that our strategy, our own climate strategy, would be published before the conference. This would show, as we said in our press release, political will and intention to actually make a stand on our current situation and highlight the way forward. And this is, of course, what we would be saying in Glasgow, because we're all there to, at the end of the day, admit to our current situation and call for action from everybody, including small nations like Gibraltar.
The situation does seem to be dire. It's something that needs immediate action and response. Dr. Cortés spoke to us in January of 2020, saying the publication of the climate change strategy was imminent, along with the 25-year plan. Of course, significant issues since then in the form of the COVID pandemic and subsequent lockdown, but the climate change issue hasn't gone away, has it?
It hasn't gone away. We know that there's a lot of work that has been done. There was a climate emergency pledge. The Climate Act has been published and enacted, and is a very detailed document. It's a framework showing how all these difficult efforts can be achieved. But our strategy, which would lay out where our emissions are coming from and a pathway, a plan on how it can be staggered through. This has to be common knowledge now. This has got to be in the public domain. It's got to be something that we all understand, we can all get behind, understand the difficulties in achieving some of these aims, and realise that the challenge that government faces also, because government has to do this alongside businesses and the community. It isn't something that government can just throw at the people and say, we're going to do this. Everybody needs to work together on this. So we've been calling for this for a few years now, because we want the discussion, we want the debate, and we want the cooperation and support that is so important for something like this, so important to be up there, to be a real priority. Of course, COVID has dented everything and it's shoved everything off the table, and it still continues to be a priority. So what is happening is that climate change continues to grow and become a bigger problem everywhere. We've not yet been hit by it so badly here, so we're sort of going along our way in our bubble, dealing with the issues that Gibraltar's facing. Of course, we have a lot of difficult issues here, politically, physically, limitations, and we want to protect our economy, our jobs, and our people. We understand all of that, but we have to have a roadmap to understand all the different factors that affect our contribution and have a plan
Jenna,
towards...
Sorry, you speak about contribution. Some people out there might think that our emissions, our issues are a drop in the ocean, that it doesn't matter what Gibraltar does. What would you say in response? That
every town, village, city, nation around the planet has got to take a stand and has got to take measures. So no matter what our size is, we have to remember also that bunkering, we punch above our weight on one of the biggest bunkering ports in Europe. And so that's a very big one, and it's a very big quota of Gibraltar's greenhouse gas emissions is our bunkering and our vehicle fuel sales. So something like that, for example, if the community understood that our city emissions, which we're going to work hard on with the strategy, is but 10% of Gibraltar's overall greenhouse gas contribution to the planet, then we have to understand that a wake-up call is that Gibraltar's fossil fuel reliance, not only to burn our energy and produce our potable water, but also as a form of income to Gib, has to be addressed and changed. We have to divest from fossil fuel in the long term. So all of these things have to be learned, understood, and supported by the community, by the business community, and by the political parties. And we can't shy away from it. The future depends on every community taking action. So COP26 is in Gibraltar too.